Thanks for joining us today for Lesson 18 in Luther's Large Catechism, Stolen Goods Stolen. It's for the third week of February 17th, 2021. For those of you who are on our Green Valley Lutheran School teachers or staff who are taking this to satisfy the continuing education requirements, your academic week goes from Wednesday through Tuesday, so in that time you need to watch this video, read the material in the manual, and then answer one of the questions or situations that are posed in the manual, and then respond to another previous response from one of your fellow teachers or fellow teachers' aides, and that can be found on the Group Me staff meeting message thread. If you're taking the class if you're a member of the church taking the class in lieu of the Sunday Adult Bible Study, obviously the study week is from Sunday through Saturday. Watch this video. Thank you for watching. Go to the manual, read the material, and interact with those questions on your own. Write them down in your manual, and if there's something there that you like or are puzzled by, go to the church's Facebook page. We've got a subgroup, Luther's Large Catechism. You can pose questions, put forth an opinion or an idea that you have, ask for clarification, and we'll get back to you on that. All right, we're making a much better effort this second semester to interact with everybody and get an electronic community going surrounding our study of Luther's Large Catechism. Well, Lesson 18, Stolen Goods Stolen. Luther says the sins against the seventh commandment are so common that we have to impress upon people the wrath of God. And he talks about impressing upon the common people, the rascals, the scoundrels. But remember, there's a rascal inside each one of us. It's the sinful human nature. So no matter how upright and pious we may appear on the outside, we need to hear that commandment because of our sinful human nature. So in this commandment, Luther says, it is our duty to do no injury to our neighbor, nor to deprive him of gain, or to, in malice, to seek an unfair advantage in a trade with him. But rather what we are to do is to help him preserve his property and to promote his advantage. Luther says especially when one accepts money, wages, and one's livelihood for such services. So we're really not working for the wages, we're working for the interest of our employer. We're working so the business is better. And now comes the big idea. The thief's stolen goods are stolen by someone else. Because what if you are, as a way of life, it's just your habit, you're cheating everybody as you go along, you're scraping here and there. Luther says, reflect what you will gain when, having come into your own property and being set up in your home, to which God will help with all misfortunes, it will bob up again and come home to you. And you will find that where you have cheated or done injury to the value of 1 penny, you will have to pay 30 times as much. The thief's stolen goods are stolen by someone else. This is something more than what goes around comes around, or karma. This is the Lord's hand in it. The Lord is going to see that a person who lives in such a way will not be blessed, that they will not have good things in their life. He goes to laborers who have people over the barrel. And you think of maybe a house is in disrepair, or there's a flood, or something like that, and so they've got you over the barrel. They can charge you whatever they need to, or whatever they want for their services. And Luther says, practice your extortion. As long as you can, you will never accumulate anything for all your wickedness, your stealing from people. And then he talks about just the general free market. This idea that I can charge whatever I want and force that price upon someone through monopolies or unfair advertising in the modern day, that is stealing too. Luther says, where you have cheated or overcharged anyone, your gains will perish. And no stolen or dishonestly acquired possession thrives. How can that be? Because it seems to me we can see a lot of wealth accumulated, and you got to scratch your head sometimes. It's like the first one with the idea monopolizes it and just charges through the nose for people. Luther says, well, look at taxation. You can have God can give you such a terrible government that it's going to take so much in taxation. There might be misfortunes, plagues, floods, fires that can destroy what a generation has wrongfully been building up. Luther also says the posting of soldiers. Remember, that was one of the complaints of the American colonists, that these foreign armies regularly were billeted in someone else's private properties, private homes. And in 1 hour, Luther said, they could empty our coffers and purposes. And if that weren't enough, they tend to fight battles which would leave our towns ruined and our houses destroyed. That can certainly burn through the wealth that you have wrongfully acquired. And then there's almost a parody. You know, Jesus said, to whom much has been given, much will be required. With the measure you measure, it will be measured out to you, to the brim, overflowing. Trying to get us to be generous in our deeds and our words and our estimations of other people. But Luther says, where you steal, it will be stolen unto you. And yet he says, but don't you worry, you're not going to harm us Christians. We Christians will endure because there is a God in heaven, and he will see to it that we have enough to get by. But watch out. When you oppress your fellow man, when you get that last dime off the table, when you have him over the barrel so that you make a killing. We still use that phrase. I made a killing in stocks. I made a killing in that business. Watch out. Because the only recourse, the people you have wronged, the only recourse they have is to go to God himself. And then God will be the one who will even the scores as their cries go up to heaven. So, if you won't listen to the Word of God, then you're going to have to learn from hard experiences. But for those who are generous, who seek the good of their neighbor to improve and advance his possessions, the Lord will reward us. The Lord will provide. So remember the big idea, the thieves' stolen goods are stolen by someone else. I especially look at that question about how maybe COVID-19 could be seen as the Lord's judgment upon the grasping, consumerism, charge anything you can attitude of so many people in our country and in the world. Thanks for watching. Good luck with the materials. See you next week.